Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bookathon Season 2, where we don't just talk about books but experience the mind behind them. Today's episode is very special because our guest today is not just an author, she's someone who loves writing. Are you wondering I've gone mad? No, I'm stressing on the word writing because this this guest did not actually begin with the book. As much I've learned about her, she loves writing quotes. Her one liners are really interesting. From quotes to now an author of four best selling books. Don't you want to know how it all happened? So, without wasting another second, let's invite the author of Chain Desires, Chain Fates, Add to Ashes, and From My Heart to Yours. Hi, Ruhani. Welcome to our podcast.
Hi. Thank you so much, Sudha, for uh, doing a podcast with me. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure to have you, and I'm genuinely excited to dive into your writing journey today. So, you ready?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so let's start our session with the most frequent and common question. What first pulled you towards writing?
Frankly speaking, nothing as such. It was my paper and my pen. Uh, from college time, I used to write something or the else. So, never thought that I would be an author, but and writing was very natural. It's nothing that it pulled. So whenever I was uh, not happy or maybe some thoughts that just came
Mm-hmm.
aligned,
Mm.
I would just write them down. So it's like, it was very natural and not uh, passionate. So I can say that I'm passionate about writing,
Okay.
but nothing pulled as such to me to writing. It was very very organic for me.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, if you have started like that, then what were your feelings when you began your first book? I mean, when you penned down some plot, what was your first thought when you have started this journey as an author?
The first book that I had written, it was almost about 10 years now, I can say.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thought was, what rubbish is that I have written.
Oh.
But, and I was very, very overwhelmed and scared that, what would people think about writing, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you write romance.
Yeah.
And the profession that I come from, it's totally different,
Okay.
and it has a perception. So I didn't want people to know that I write romance,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and therefore I had a pen name also.
Okay.
But yeah, you could say the feeling was that I'm scared, and I don't want to tell the world that I was writing a romance book.
Wow. Okay. So, since it's your first, you must have faced many challenges. So, can you share any which had taught you something, or all those challenges which you had experienced?
So I would say writing is very, very easy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you just pen down your thoughts and you're done. But when you are writing a book,
Mm.
there are so many things that go into it. So then you have to do editing, then you
Yeah.
have to make first draft, second draft, final draft, and
Right.
after that you need to hear what your editor is saying. Uh, and then there is beta reading, there is alpha reading, there is marketing. You need to speak to
Mm-hmm.
bookstammers, you need to have
Mm.
PR. So all this was very, very new for me, and definitely, initially I just had a friend who edited a book for the first book for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know all these terms.
Okay.
And so I used to approach people and say that, hey, I have written this book. Will you read it? And
Mm.
they used to be like, uh, send us your ARC copy. Now, for the life of me, I didn't know what was ARC. So,
Okay.
then knowing those terms and speaking to people,
Correct.
and then taking help from authors and the people who already are in the field. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, there were lots of challenges, but I can say that I met the right people at right time, and
Mm-hmm.
all were very, very helpful.
Wow, lovely. So, so much of struggle, and you have gone through every step, right? So when your book's finally ready to hit publish, so you must have been overjoyed. What was your feelings then?
Again, Sudha, I was very scared. I was opening uh, the doors for people to say that,
Yeah,
they could say anything at any point, right? The
right.
uh, readers are God ultimately. So, uh, so that was a very scary feeling. But with that, there was a sense of achievement too.
Mm.
That it's okay. I have written a book that may go well, may not go well, but
Mm-hmm.
that's my bucket list, and that is something that I'm writing for myself.
Oh.
So, so yes, I was. I could say if there was not one emotion, there were lots of emotions that were
Mm-hmm.
going through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, one of them was being fearful as well as happiness.
Yeah.
That finally I have crossed the bucket list.
Wow. So I'm sure every author can relate to this feelings, yeah. So hey, you have mentioned I've read in your bio in the book, right? You have mentioned about your love for Mills and Boons and romance. So do you
Mhm.
draw inspiration from those books, or do you have a specific kind of stories you want to write?
So Mills and Boons, people say it's for teenagers,
Mhm.
but for me, they were my life because that's what reading I actually have started with.
Mhm.
And I won't, I definitely do draw, you could say about 1-2% of inspiration from them,
Mhm.
about the tall, dark, handsome, and millionaire or billionaire
Mhm.
heroes.
Mhm.
But my heroines are not that. My heroines are very advanced and have their own mind because
Mhm.
if you look at Mills and Boon's heroines, they were more like a doormat
Mhm.
or somebody who would agree to everything.
Yeah.
So yes, inspiration is there, but not completely. It's more like mix of my experiences with
Okay.
uh, what I fantasize from Mills and Boons.
Mills and Boons. Perfect. Wow. So it's really interesting. Oh, do you find any difference between love then and love now?
And definitely, there is lots of difference. First, love would be like kabutar ja ja ja, and now it's WhatsApp. It's like one
Right,
four three, 143. I love
right.
you.
Correct,
So
correct, correct.
so yes, there is lots of
Awesome.
difference about love. Now I think it's uh, more equal love. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
it's not domination. It's like wherein two people come together and they understand
Each other.
each
Correct.
other. Yes,
I agree. I agree.
they they understand each other with earlier it was said that if you are getting married, you're
Mhm.
getting married to the family, not the boy.
Mm.
But now here the definition is slowly and steadily changing, wherein the boys or the man of the house also is helping the woman.
Correct.
And I think somewhere that is growing with love and the special things that people do. So yes, definitely there
Yes.
is lots of changes of love.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, right. So now, taking a detour from this line of conversation, I'm very curious to know one thing. You have previously mentioned this is writing is different from your actual profession, right? So,
Yes.
your actual profession, you are a teacher, a special
Mhm.
educator. So, I want you to first tell our listeners about your profession in detail, a bit detail.
Okay. So I I am a special educator and counselor, and I deal with students.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you could say that I go to school.
Mm.
So, and I have done my special education, a B.Ed in special education. That's why I'm a teacher.
Wow.
And uh, so I help students to come across, overgain their skills that are not developed.
Okay.
And I have done it about 20 years back. So
Mm-hmm.
that time people didn't know what is a special educator.
Right.
And I used to find it so difficult to explain. And people used to ask me, "आप पागलों की टीचर हो?" So yeah, and I used to say, "वो पागल नहीं है."
You are
The
helping
students,
slow learners, right?
yeah, slow learners, learning disabled,
Disability,
autism,
right?
ADHD. So all
Mm-hmm.
these students that require additional support, I would say.
Correct.
So in one line, if I have to explain my profession,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like how you go to doctor when you cannot see,
Mm-hmm.
or you have cold and cough, he gives you medicine.
Right.
The same way, I support children by giving them additional help and
Mm-hmm.
try and make sure that they come to their class level.
Uh,
know.
wow.
So
Interesting.
that is something that I love to do.
Yeah. And
And
and actually, it is good that people now are at least they have this awareness, right? Every school has a special educator now, right?
yes,
I
now they have.
recently found even my child's school also have. So yeah, that was
So,
yeah, I was very interested in your profession. Yeah,
yeah.
nice.
Because now it's a government rule that you have to have a special educator and counselor
Mm-hmm.
in the school.
Oh,
So
yeah,
so that's why people have started recognizing it more and better.
correct, correct. Lovely. Okay, so you tell me this: the subject chose you, or you chose the subject?
Uh, I think the subject chose me.
Wow, excellent, excellent. Okay, so would you then if you're so much you have 20 years of experience in this special education, you have dealt with so many children, you teach so many children. So would you like to bring this subject into your stories at any time in your future projects?
I've not really thought because you know uh, actually 20 years into this field and I needed something different,
Mm-hmm.
something that would not involve special education because
Okay.
frankly speaking, I'm tired of listening to parents, teachers, students,
Yeah. Okay.
emotional
I know.
disruptions.
Correct.
So I never thought that I would bring anything in my stories, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for future we never know.
Correct. Correct. Right. The child's thing. If a child is facing difficulty, even the teacher would face. When she it would affect even her. I understand. So
Yeah,
you,
definitely. So
yeah. Okay.
it becomes like it it feels that this is your child only, you
Correct.
know.
Mm.
So if people ask me how many children I have, I literally have to tell them that I think 20 or 25, and they just look at me like, oh, what's wrong with her, you know.
Wow. Okay. So then okay, you started your writing with quotes for another author, right? How was your
Yes.
experience working with her?
It was a great experience, a new experience. It gave lots of thrill, lots of
Hmm.
freedom, because I worked with Neha Chanani Khananwal in
Okay.
CK, and it was her book. Uh, I think it was the second book that she was bringing in,
Mm-hmm.
and I found it to be very fortunate enough to work with her
Mm-hmm.
because she was not demanding. She was like, you take your time, you do what you want, and she used to listen that when I said that I think they should go better than this. So she
Mhm.
would say, okay, fine, let's try different things. So
Mhm.
it was a great experience, and it gave me lots of confidence in my writing course
Right.
also.
Yeah. Nice. And I've read Neha's books, Neha Chenani Kanagwal, right? I've read all her books and I love them. So this is a shout out to my listeners. If you haven't read Neha's books, it's time you start reading them. You will love them, really. So when two writers come together, they are bound to have different styles and perspectives. And I have seen the latest release is a combination of you and Neha. It both of you together have written a book. So
Yes.
how did you find balance? How did you both find balance in writing that book? And tell us
So
about
yeah,
that book also.
sure. So that book is heart from my heart to yours,
Mhm.
and it has 12 short stories ranging from romance to family to relationships to maybe like a spiritual being. So
Mhm.
all different stories. So yeah, finding balance was little difficult, but
Mhm.
we tried because. It just like Neha had called me just she was talking about random things and she's like, I'm thinking of writing short stories
Mhm.
and I would be publishing it soon.
Mhm.
I was like, I also have written few,
Mhm.
so why not publish it together?
Together. Wow.
So so she was like, okay, let's try it. So we have put 6 stories of mine and 6 stories of hers.
Wow.
And let me tell you that readers find it difficult to recognize whose stories is whose. Yeah.
Yes. I agree with that because I have read that book and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
who wrote what, but it
Mm-hmm.
is a really very nice book. I've enjoyed reading that. It's very quick, entertaining. So not as I said, I'm not sure who wrote what, but it was really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Every single story was entertaining. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much for appreciating that, Neha. Sorry, Sudha.
Okay. So can we expect more collaborating projects from you both?
We never know what life takes a turn. So if one day Neha calls me and tells me that, hey, are you interested? Maybe we have a new book.
Hoping for that. Okay.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So my famous last question, can you tell us about your future projects? Anything to look forward?
So I just released Chain. So my book Chained series. First
Mm-hmm.
book was Chain Desire. That was my debut novel.
Yeah.
Now I just launched in month of March my uh, sorry my last week of Feb
Okay.
my second book that
I
is
read
Chain
that.
Page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read it. I love
I
the book.
Thank you so much. So now my third book in Chain series is May. I have not decided on name,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe that would be the future project. And if my editor gives me book on time, I may be able to release it soon. So hoping for the best. So
Wow.
that is one of my future plans that I have.
Okay. So I'm very much looking forward for that book. So thank you so much, Ruhani, for this so beautiful conversation with you. So I mean, it is just a conversation between two readers, right? To just two
Mhm.
friends. I love this conversation. And to everyone
Mhm.
listening, if you haven't yet explored Ruhani's work, I'd highly recommend diving into her books. Every book gives you a unique experience. Thank you,
Mhm.
Ruhani, for coming and for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure was all mine, Sudha.
Okay. So, thank you everyone for tuning into Bookathon 2. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share it with someone who loves reading meaningful stories. So, until next time, keep reading, keep feeling, and keep discovering. See you, everyone.